How you doing? William Smith, President of Legacy Empowerment Group. Happy to be with you today. It is our goal to help you retire on time and with a financial legacy in place. And how we're doing that right now is, look, we're doing a lesson a day. Interesting things that came up from appointments from before between me and my agents. We want to transfer that information on to you. So here's a question I get all the time. Why should I get a policy with my parents? And here are the reasons, okay? It's very important that you know either if they have one or if you have the ability to get one on them yourself, okay? And here's the reason why. You want to protect your retirement. It is our goal to make sure that you have a nest egg in place, right? And some of the threats that come up, it is our job to help you protect yourself from those things. And one of the things is a parent falling ill or a parent dying suddenly and having no life insurance or anything that is there to protect you from having to go into your retirement, into your TSP, if you're a federal government employee, and having to take a withdrawal out just because your parents didn't have life insurance. So you want to make sure that you get a life insurance policy or know if your parents have a life insurance policy because you want to definitely protect the nest egg. The next is you don't want to be paying off their big debt. So one of the big things that happens is a parent will leave a house, for example. This is the most common situation. A parent will leave a house and the house has $300,000 in debt on it, right? Or even $100,000. But if you want to keep that house, then you have to pay off that debt. Or you have to find a way to sell the debt, sell the house, and then you got to get it renovated and things like that to bring it to market so you can maximize your return on investment from that piece of property. And so you want to have a life insurance policy in place to help you protect, to pay off this debt. And another thing that comes up a lot of times is your parents have things in the house that they need to be moved and things like that. The life insurance can also help with that process. So it's not always just about the funeral. The next thing is if your parents fall ill. Now, this is very, very, very common. And I'm starting to see a lot of it more and more. The cost of healthcare in America is extremely high. And so if a parent doesn't die suddenly, but a parent is sick over a long period of time, that can be extremely costly to you. And so, you want to make sure your parents have a long-term care policy in place. If they can still qualify. It will save you thousands of dollars that will come out of your pocket, again, your retirement, that you would have to spend if you don't have something like this in place. This is probably the biggest thing, to be honest with you. I mean, paying off funeral is one thing, but time missed from work, medical treatment, there's certain medications that are cost $1,000 per injection. This stuff, I've seen these stories come out of your money. And so you want to make sure that you have a life insurance policy, one with living benefits, so if your parents become critically ill, the life insurance policy will pay for that stuff, or a long-term care policy that will pay for some of the home health care issues. Now, of course, your parents will qualify for these things, but I just want to put it in your mind to think about these things and take care of this stuff is extremely important. Look, and another thing, I get this all the time. My parents say that they have a life insurance policy. Here's one thing. When your parents tell you that, ask them to look at their bank statement and say, well, which one of these is the life insurance premium payment? Because a lot of times, if they don't, some cases it is the case where they might have a policy that's paid off, but that's very, very rare for this generation of older people, right? So you want to make sure you look at the policy, look at their bank statement, and they point out exactly where the life insurance premium is coming out. If they cannot do that, they say, look, let's get on the phone with the customer service representative so I can find out that your policy is active. And don't take their word for it. I hate to say it, but just don't, because I've seen it too many times where a person will say, Mrs. Smith, I thought they had a policy, but they didn't. So now you just gotta fact check your parents, It's out of love though, because you just don't want to be left holding the bag. So again, William Smith Jr., President of Legacy Empowerment Group. Hope this video was able to help you out in some capacity.